everyone, welcome back. So, how'd you like the intro? I've been wanting to put an intro on this channel for so long, but really had no idea how to do it. So I want to thank Ryan over at Ryan Reads Books for helping me out. He hooked me up with this site called Animoto.com, where you can make free 30-second video clips and stuff, and they have like some templates that you can use and plug in pictures. And he was able to help me edit it and save it to a computer and load it up, and I have my intro. So thank you so much, Ryan. I'm going to put a link to his channel down below. Please check it out, because he's a great book reviewer. And also I'll link Animoto.com site too, so if you want to go check it out and think about making some intros yourself. So anyway, what we're here today for is to talk about this book, Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. And I know you're thinking, this isn't the kind of a book I normally would read, a contemporary YA romance. I'm all about, the dystopian and sci-fi action kind of books, but I've been hearing so much about this. This book has been on my TBR probably almost since it first came out and all the hype started hitting. And I thought, everyone seems to love this book. I'm seeing 5-star ratings everywhere. It's just getting glowing reviews. I have to read this. I have to expand my genres a bit. So I planned on reading this. And then nothing else happened with it. It just kind of sat there. Every time I'd go to read something, like what am I going to read today? I'd pick up another book along the same things I always read. So I knew I needed to push to kind of get myself to start reading this thing. And one day I was watching Erin over at her channel on YouTube. It's on Wrath Queen, and I'll put a link to her channel down below. And she was doing one of those tag videos, and I think the question was, who do you prefer, Katniss or Hermione? And she kind of fessed up that she'd never read any of the Harry Potter stories. And I'm like, seriously? And it was the same situation. She tried to start it, kind of put it away, never picked it up again, but wanted to read it, and she needed that extra push too. So I came up with the idea that I would challenge Erin, that if she read book 1 in the Harry Potter series before the year was through, I would read Anna and the French Kiss. And she accepted my challenge. So here I am. I have finished reading it. Success. Yay. Finally. It worked. And I'm going to talk about it. So first, let's just talk about the book design itself. It's in paperback format, and it has these really lovely French flaps, which I love the extra little touch they did on there on the inside and out. On the back page as well. So that was really nice. And they have those deckled edges, which are just lovely. This is a really nice touch on the books. I wish more publishers would do that. Now the cover. Don't hate me, but I don't really like the cover. I like the color design and everything, and I love the Eiffel Tower in the background, but it bothers me that if you're going to have figures on both sides, it should be central. I don't like that half of one figure is cut off. I mean, it has no head, it's just an arm. Why didn't they just put both of them, one on either side? Why couldn't they center it? If you look at her other book here, this is Lola and the Boy Next Door. Both figures are on the book, and the title is centered and everything. So this looks like one of those kind of misprints that from the publisher, like they chopped the book funny and kind of just sent it out anyway. So I would have preferred it over. I mean, after I kind of disliked the cover, I had an image in my head that I would have had something like having Anna like off to the side, looking out the window of her dorm room on the scene of Paris below, and then maybe on her desktop have like an American flag, some textbooks including beginning French, and maybe a book like 1001 Movies to See Before You Die, because as we find out in the story, Anna is a big film buff. So I thought that would have been something I would have liked a little bit more than this design, but that's just me. Color-wise and everything is still nice, and like I said, the extra touches are good too. So on to the storyline. And it's about a girl named Anna Oliphant, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And she's a senior, about to enter her senior year in high school, and her father decides it'd be really prestigious to send her to Paris, France, to go to school. Not so much prestigious for her, but for him, I think, because he's a writer, and he could say, hey, my daughter's attending school in France, makes him look really important and everything. So he sends his daughter off to Paris, a girl who cannot speak even a word of French, has studied Spanish in school. I can understand her being rather upset about it. You think, what this girl's whining about it, but think about it. If you were a senior about to enter, your last year in high school, you'd want to be with your friends, you'd want to attend prom, graduate together. Instead, she's going to be in a foreign country, she can't speak the language, surrounded by strangers. Not a great way to end your high school years. So I could definitely felt for this character, yeah, it was a tough situation. So of course she's crying her first day there after her parents leave her, and girl next door named Meredith hears her and knocks on her door to see if she's okay and introduces herself and invites her over to her dorm room, and then they get to talking, and and spends some time and eases her fears a little bit. And it turns out to be midnight before she leaves. And as she's leaving, smacks into another boy, who she later kind of in her head nicknames the beautiful hallway boy. And that is one Etienne St. Clair. And is actually a friend of Meredith's, and she later gets to meet him more formally. Along with Meredith's other friends, there's Josh and Rashmi who are dating each other. And there's a really nice group of people, make her feel a little bit at home and comfortable, as they are all attending school at the School of America in Paris. It's a nicknamed SOAP from the acronym. And we spend a lot of time in the book, obviously, at school. So you're surrounded by American students, American teachers. The only really French speaking you get is from the French teacher who speaks purely French during the course of the classes. We do get some views outside of the school. Just to make Anna feel a little more comfortable, St. Clair takes her kind of on a tour of the neighborhood and the sights around, and so she can see. So we kind of get that tour and visual image, but it wasn't like enough for me. I think the one attractiveness of this book was the fact that it was taking place in a foreign country, and I like to read travel writing books. So I thought, okay, Paris, I'd like to see some imagery of that, but I don't think I got enough of it, and maybe I was in my head counterbalancing it from what I get from a travel writing book. There's one, my favorite author is Peter Mayle, and he wrote a book, A Year in Provence, about him and his wife. When they retired, they moved to Provence, to a small little cottage in a village, and has a vineyard, and you're just so immersed in the countryside and the people and the language that I felt this a bit lacking in that aspect of it. But I understand it because the focus isn't so much on the fact that it's Paris, but the fact that it's the romance, the budding romance or the love triangle that kind of takes place in the story. So it was lacking a little bit because when I finished, I was trying to remember those images of Paris, and it kind of was too faded. It wasn't enough for me. So that's one of the little drawbacks I had for the book. But other than that, I liked all the characters. Meredith was a really good friend. She liked sports and stuff. She's crushing a little bit on St. Clair, and Anna realizes that and tries to hold back her feelings. St. Clair has a girlfriend we meet named Ellie. So there's your kind of, not so much almost a love triangle, almost a quadrangle with Meredith thrown into it. So it's, of course, your typical, like I said, romance story where you're going to have that back and forth. You know, you wouldn't have all this drama if people would just kind of speak up and tell your feelings for each other, but then, of course, you wouldn't have a book. So as frustrating as some of those situations can get, it's what you'd expect in this type of book. But I really enjoyed the writing story. I like the writing style, rather. I like the characters we meet. There's some other side characters. There's Amanda, who is just a total bitch. I don't know why she has it out for Anna. I didn't quite understand that aspect of it, but of course it seems like there has to be some bully in every school, and Amanda fits that role perfectly. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. We meet St. Clair's parents. They are separated. There's some issues with his mom that play a major part in this story, and for St. Clair's actions and things like that. So overall, I really did enjoy the story. Did I love it? No, but I like I said, I liked it a lot. I thought it was entertaining. Definitely would recommend it. Definitely a good break in between all the dystopian and sci-fi and action. It was a nice light read, a nice summer light read, I suppose, or early fall, because that's when I'm finishing it. But I was really happy to finally get to it. I may even pick up Lola and the Boy Next Door and give that one a shot too. But overall, I give this one 4 out of 5 stars. And Aaron, the ball is now in your court. Pick up that Harry Potter and get reading. I want to see your review. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.